Hello Orphicans, I'm Devanshu Sharma, your mathematics mentor. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is numbers. I know that it can be sometimes really difficult to remember all the different classification of numbers. But here the main question is, why do we need all these different classifications? Why do we have to complicate things? Why can't we have just one set and be okay with it? Don't worry, I'll try to answer all these questions in our next segment where I'll visit an era where only the basic counting existed. Counting started way back in the prehistoric era, even before when we had a standard language to communicate. As you can see, the early humans used lines to count their prey, their cattle, their weapons, and other important objects. These check marks evolved into telemarks, and with passing time, these numbers were given names and symbols and were accepted worldwide. Numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on are ordinary numbers with which humans used to count. That's why they are also called counting numbers. They are also called natural numbers because much of human experience from infancy deals with discrete objects like fingers, peanuts, balls, and so on. People quickly, if not naturally, learned to count them. There was a German mathematician who claimed that natural numbers are the only numbers which are made by God. All the other numbers are the work of mankind. See, these are the natural numbers which are represented on a number line. These natural numbers satisfied people for a long time. But then came the idea of zero. The idea of zero, though natural to us now, was not natural to the early human. They asked a very simple question: what is the need of counting nothing? As we can see in this picture, there are two dogs. But in this one, there's nothing. What is the need of counting nothing? An empty patch of grass is just an empty patch of grass, right? But then about 3000 years ago, people needed to tell the difference between the numbers like 1, 10 and 100, which is not at all possible without the help of zero. The idea of zero had just begun, but it wasn't for the next 1000 years or so zero was considered as an actual number. But today, we all can agree that zero is a very important number even in our daily life. We have heard a lot of people saying things like, I had 3 apples, I ate all 3, now I have 0 apples. That's important zero is in our daily life. So finally, we added 0 to the natural number line and we came up with a new set of numbers, which is whole numbers. Story doesn't end here. Some people asked, if we can go forward with the numbers, why can't we go backwards? That's how the idea of negative numbers came into picture. But people were not satisfied by the theory of negative numbers. They asked a very simple question: how can I have negative number of cows, negative number of weapons, or even negative number of money? To which someone replied that if you owe 100 rupees to a person and you have only 80 rupees, then you have minus 20 rupees in your pocket. And to accommodate these negative numbers, we came up with a new set of numbers, that is integers. But I think you guys must be having a question that what is the gap between any two consecutive numbers on the number line? Will there any other set of numbers come between that, or will it be just be empty? The answer is fractions. We'll understand fractions with the help of an example. Let's say I want to distribute 4 chocolates among 2 kids. I'll distribute 2 each to both the kids, right? And 2 and 4 are natural numbers. But what if I want to distribute 5 chocolates to 2 kids? What will I do? What the number will be? I'll distribute 5 by 2 to each of the kid, and this 5 by 2 is a fraction. Where will this 5 by 2 come in the number line? Let's see. 5 by 2 is greater than 2 and 5 by 2 is less than 3. So it will be between 2 and 3. A fraction is any number of the form a by b where a and b are whole numbers and b is not equal to 0. And any number which can be expressed as a fraction are called rational numbers. And rational numbers are the numbers which can be expressed as p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. Ask your teacher why q cannot be equal to 0 in your life class. So after all this discussion, it looks like we have covered all the different set or classification of numbers, right? It's a big no. There are other set of numbers like real numbers, irrational numbers, and imaginary numbers that we'll study in the higher classes. And we'll continue our story on rational numbers and important facts related to it in our live class. Till then, keep exploring and learning and never stop asking questions. Bye and stay safe.